This is a thumbprint, and I'm Ron Arad sitting on the thumbprint at the MoMA. No discipline comes from it. I think it's very easy to understand because I don't have exclusive membership in any of the disciplines, architecture, sculpture. I don't need a passport to go from one discipline to the other. I'm going to scribble. I'm going to introduce some no discipline to the very disciplined graphic. And maybe it also describes my temperament. I'm not a very disciplined person, and I jump from one thing to the other. Well, this is the Crash Sans Frontières. To do a show here, I thought I'll better do something worth doing, something new for here. I also like risks. It was done in an incredibly short time, against all odds. It's a shape that sort of appeared in the work. The structure is like a twisted bend. I mean, people lazily refer to it as Mobius strip. It's not. Other lazy people call it a figure of eight. It's not. It's just a simple twisted bend. You enter under the twist because there's no doors to it, no entrance. The nice thing about the membrane is it's external here, and as you enter, you see the silhouettes of hopefully an exciting thing that's happening inside. The membrane will just go and twist itself and be stretched internally. This time the silhouettes will be inside. Having said that, I'm more interested in showing new things. Lots of the pieces I haven't seen since I've made them. Some of them like 25 years ago. Or do you want to follow me? This, by the way, is the first piece of furniture I've ever made, the Robo Chair. I went to a scrapyard and bought 2 leather Rover car seats, mounted them on a frame. I became a designer. I mean, I didn't plan to. A week before that, I didn't plan to become a designer. I yanked it out of a scrapyard in 1981, and it lived in my home ever since. I had 2 daughters since that jumped on it, and all the friends jumped on it, and it was like part of the furniture. And it was so funny that when we displayed it in the Pompidou Center, I was made to wear white gloves when I'm handling it. Pieces like this, the Tinker Chair, this is take a piece of metal, beat it up until it admits it's a chair. It's a comfortable chair. 10 people sat on it, and someone said, "Can you make the lower support of the back a little higher, a little lower?" No problem, you hammer it with a rubber mallet, and then you fix it, you weld it. It's the nearest you can get to action painting in doing a piece of furniture. If I could steal one piece from the show, it would probably be this one. There's no perfection here. It's the nearest you can get to a drawing, to a sketch, to something that I can't do. I can't do these things anymore. I can't, in the same way you cannot pretend to do your childhood drawings. This piece called the Thumbprint is made by stainless steel rods. There's inside, what you can't see is the armature. At the back, it's just circles, stacking circles. But when it starts getting into this landscaped part here, the piece begins to have a wheel of its own. I wish I could tell you that I designed the pattern or the fingerprint of the piece, but I didn't. I mean, it just, every landscape has its own fingerprint. There's a real delight in doing something, starting something, and then you get a lot more than you deserve. You get like a bonus. You get beauty that doesn't come from me. It's there, and it's just found by me. There's another layer, which is the highlights, and with every movement, you get something else. It's really nice to sit in it. You can also rotate and move yourself like this. And maybe I'll give you a full circle. You can speed it up if it's too slow. This is an indestructible piece that can live outdoors. It's made of stainless steel. This is the same shape as the thumbprint, slightly smaller. The name thumbprint is not only for the fingerprint, it looks like he had a ball and some giant pressed the thumb into it. When you design chairs, you do containers for the invisible sitter. You do containers that have to accommodate big people, small people, fat people, thin people, males, females, and they all have to be happy in it. Here, the first line is the bronze line, and then we worked left of it or right of it. The patterns, which I call the fingerprint of the shape, are amazing, and although we could see everything on the computer before, we just have to watch it happening. It's something that becomes. So we saw all this on the screens, like very realistic renderings of this, but you can't compare it to the pleasure of actually having it here. As you're busy, I'll do the sitting here.